This is As It Is in Your Area with Living Television Abba. Glad to have you join me in another informative episode of the program. As always, I am your area diva, Onyinye Eze. In today's episode, our discussion will be centered on Abia State internally generated revenue, the way forward. We are privileged to have in our studio today Mr. Chimereze Isaac Okibo. He is the Special Assistant to the Executive Governor of Abia State on IGR, internally generated revenue. Good to have you on the program, sir.
Yeah, Diva, thank you. I'm good to be here too.
You're welcome. Before now, the past administration sold out revenue collections to agents, which was the sole responsibility of IGR. On emergence of this recent administration, Governor Alex Otti discontinued with the current revenue collection system. Recently, Abia adopts digital tax system. This and many more facts concerning IGR we will be discussing today. Now, Mr. Kibo, from the information reaching us, you are said to be a revenue expert. What is your impression of Abia revenue collection system?
Okay, well, thank you. Well, when we came on board into the state to handle this function, we realized that there's no process, there's no strategic process for collection and also remittance of this revenue. So there's nothing to talk about really what was on ground than to see there's an opportunity for people to enrich themselves. A lot of middlemen trying to start from the government, collect money from the poor people, and spend the money while it goes into the private pocket. So that was the major thing we saw before we now started to design the process to able to manage that.
All right. Now, Mr. Kibu, Abians have witnessed models of revenue collection system operated by the past administration. What model do you intend to adopt? And then tell us the advantages.
Okay, so basically the model I want to adopt at this time is to run a core digital process that will enable us to collect money, no matter how small it is, from whatever anybody is to pay, and also let it go into the government coffers through a straight-through processes. So I wouldn't just say just a simple automation, but it has to do with a lot of business mind re-engineering and transforming a particular process which is archaic to the times of now, and then move it to a core digital and seamless processes, which allows government to collect revenue from everybody and also drive that process through a TSA process that creates transparency.
Okay. Remember, As It Is in Your Area is a live phone-in audience participatory program where you can call us and share with us what is happening in your area, be it usual or unusual things, all those things people do not know about your area, or what government need to know about your area. Please call us, or you can also call us and participate, give your opinion on IGR, what you know about IGR. Call us on 09168 284994. I call again, 0916-828-4994. All right, sir. Can you tell us, brief us, what you know about IGR and the role it plays to the economy of the state?
Okay, so basically, IGR is government money.
It's government money.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's all forms of revenue or expected receipts that is entitled to government to collect for the case or for the sake of transformation. So what it does, what it is that every citizen of the country or every indigenous of the state has some specific functions to play. Each of them is also that statutory function that you need to do in terms of a civil responsibility by contributing money to government purse. And this contribution has a law backing it. So some of the contributions, which is a tax now, could actually be derived as a percentage of what you do.
Okay.
It could also be a particular value of what you do. It could also be, not assume, for the state to come up with and say, okay, we do a best of judgment for this. For example, I say everyone that does commercial transport service in the town need to pay a certain amount of money.
Okay.
So it's agreed upon and the person pays that money. So that's what basically IGR is. And it's also, if you look at the things around the payment that was done by farmers to the state government based on the harvest they've made.
Okay.
So the traders in the market, based on the sales they made. And those sales they made, there are two different ways. They could be derived sales, which is VAT, that has to do with federal IGR also. But for the traders in the local market, there's a certain amount of money they pay for storage or for the signage that is in the market, or contributory system to support education or what have you. So these are basically what I said, it's a contribution to the government coffers. That's basically what IGR is. Then IGR basically now, when you collect the money is supposed to be used for the meta project.
Okay.
Yes, so, and the way it is, government need to do a lot of things, need to build infrastructure, need to build roads, need to create employment, also to renovate our schools and hospitals. They also need to give scholarship, as the case may be, and these are social services. So government collects this money and also uses it for social services.
Okay.
One of the major things that we will notice is that when government does not collect what they need to collect, or when government decides to bastardize the process and collect the money without letting the money get into the government coffers, they run into deficits, because they're able to take care of some of their responsibilities. Like the major one is the normal salary payments, provision of good roads. Those things are not going to be done because government are refused to do the right thing they need to do. Okay,
thank you, sir. Sir, so far, what are the impediments you have observed?
The process or the digital process we have in place have been embraced by Ndiabia. But these middlemen are still showing some sign of resistance. Like we've gone to several parks and explained to them that the normal money they collect from people, the commission, the booking, the loading on the road and what have you, should stop based on the governor's directive and instruction given on his inauguration day. But now realize that even after going to the park to convince people, to drivers to commence paying this payment, and the resistance we get is that, oh, we cannot pay this thing now because these doubts are still coming to harass us, telling us we must pay the commission. So that becomes a problem. So last time I was in the park, I was asking one of those guys, is that if you collect money from these guys, if somebody loses his car and you collect 10%, and it comes to maybe about, it depends on what it is, it comes to about 3,000 or 4,000, or some say they collect a certain amount based on their own sense of judgment. Okay. If you load 2,000 naira per passenger, when you finish, you pay also 2,000 naira.
Okay.
You now pay manifest. And they collect this manifest, they also spend it again. And manifest was becoming money. So we now realize that the resistance is coming because of the fact that the doubts are refused to clear from the way.
Right.
Also, we got phone calls around that, and we're building up a system that also manage those things. But in a nutshell, people have embraced this, without minding the challenges we're having from those guys. But those are the issues. However, I don't expect this thing to just happen immediately.
Yeah.
Because there should be some level of resistance. That shows that we've been resisting. The past 20 years or thereabouts, these have been the stock in trade.
Yes.
And that's what kept the states where they are. So now we are trying to say, this guy just give us way. We've done about a few days, about 50 days in the office. We were able to launch a product to show this is where we want to go. When the TSA model, telling them that pay your money, you see where the money is going. But now, these guys are trying to distract us. We're not going to get distracted. We'll keep on building what we are and perfect what we're doing. They will now come to tell them that it's not going to be as usual.
Okay, thank you, sir. We will be back in a moment. Keep watching. in television, Abba. Remember, the program is a phone live-in program where you can call us to express what is happening in your area. The line still remains 0916-828-4994. All right, sir. Before we went for the break, you made mention in your explanation. You made mention of the tout. Now I want to ask, how would this administration condole them? Are you working with them, or what are your plans towards this tout?
Okay, yeah, on the day of inauguration, the governor pleaded with the touts.
Okay.
Through a directive that they should clear the way and stop from all forms of illegal revenue collection. But you know, he was just sounding to them like a usual political statement. Was thinking that he was campaigning that day.
Okay.
So when we started, we saw some resistance from them, and we are taking care of them.
Okay.
In the normal formal way. So we are coming up with an advanced revenue codes.
Okay.
We'll try that because you know what we're doing is to protect the citizens and also make sure that the money people pay goes into them, and also take away all forms of double taxation or multiple collection from people.
Okay.
Yes, because you know, when these starts go to them, they coerce them. They go with all manner of threat, so they're able to pay. At times, you see, they beat up the people, take their wares and stuff, especially in the market and rest of them. So that's the things we're trying to stop. We're trying to create a sound environment. So what we plan to do in the TAT area is that we are going to come up with an enforcement system that will ensure compliance. We're also going to be working with the registered and the non-union of the government, union of the market and the transport. So they are the ones that are going to be driving our process because the union man is affected. So you're going to make sure government get what they need to get. So we're not going to get into renting some set of human being or hiring them, giving them some sort of agreement to do enforcement for us. That is anti-human. We're going to do that.
Okay. All right, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, what are the plans of this administration to ensure transparency, accountability, and enhancement of revenue collection? Okay,
so the first one is that we are having the digital system, which has the Abia Pay as a brand name, is actually a journey in revenue collection, from the journey of onboarding to the journey of people seeing what is collected.
Okay.
So the first process that you have to do your enumeration. Currently, there's already an absent generation process, which is Abia State social identification number. It's already happening for the payee and personal income tax, the hotels payment, corporate and individual. But now we're also onboarding a kind of enumeration process, having also a generating a payment ID for every informal sector agent.
Okay.
Whether you're a trader, whether you're a businessman, whether you're a transporter, you're going to have a payer ID. That payer ID becomes your Abia Pay account number. Okay. So you can also have your absent number because once you do your direct assessment or do payment, but for you to pay payments for your transport related payments, pay for the market stores and the rest of them, pay for signages as well. You're going to have this payer ID and written boldly on the card we give you. So when we do the enumeration to onboard the taxpayer, it generates a payer ID, and also you'll be entitled to a card.
Okay.
That is a card, special card, which is biometrics enabled, and a sticker, which is also biometrics enabled. So that's the first phase of it.
Okay.
So anytime you want to make your payments, because your data is already on the system.
Okay.
So if you provide that payer ID, the system automatically pops up what you need to pay. So nobody can alter the payment amount in the system. You already know, because it's already hard coded into the system. So when that happens, payment leaves your account. If you're paying by yourself, leaves your account and goes straight to government post. Then if you because we also consider the level of literacy in the system, and our people over here claim to be so busy. Most times they don't want to go to the bank branch and make payment and stuff like that. So they can also use agency bank. We're partnering with all the commercial banks in the country to have POS and wallet system. We're also partnering with major PSSP. Now we are dealing with InterSwitch, and we're training our agents. So we are creating wallet system for that payment. So that wallet system is that when you want to collect payments on a daily basis, if you want to do within a limit of 200,000 or 300,000, depends on your capacity. You fund your wallet, So when people are coming to make payment, they're using their card or giving you cash. So whenever you debit your wallet, it goes to government post. You cannot have your cash. At the end of the period, government also design an incentive for them. There's a commission for them, which is not for this compensation really. Then same thing with the union too, administration too. They all have compensation for making sure that it works. It goes round for everybody. So when the payment is made, it hit to the government post. And now the governor has also given the money for us to make sure that we implement transaction single account, treasury single accounts by the 1st of September. So what that means is that we are creating a funnel where every tap, which is like money coming into government for in terms of revenue collection, goes into that funnel and hits one single account. So you can have transparency. So if anybody wants that, we can show you this month we collected this amount of money, and that's what we want to do. And gradually we are increasing that revenue collection. By the time we get to, we integrate everything possible, we begin to tell people this is what made on ground, and this is what we are doing on a monthly basis, and we hope that it's going to be increasing. So when that happens, people can ask for information about our revenue generation. And also, even as you're paying as a revenue person, what we're trying to do now is that if you query that, if you use your account number to check what the payment you made, you see your statement of account, you see I paid for this, I paid for the sanitation, I paid for storage, the transport, I paid for this day, I paid for that day, stuff like that. So we are bringing a core transparency in the system, and we are telling people to hold us to our word when it comes to that. We want to make sure that we provide that confidence for people to make payments again. So confidence that the money you're paying, you're seeing it the way it's going in, and there's a general view for everybody to understand what we're doing, and it's so clear. That's why we're taking pains to communicate to people and explain to them this is what we want to do. And for the transport sector, commercial transport segment, we also have an incentive for them. So if you're making your payments on a daily basis or a weekly basis, or not, because we will try to also create some level of confidence for them. So you can decide to say, oh, I'm a keke rider, I'm a bus driver, I'm a tipper driver, I want to be making my payments every day. So you pay, every day you come out, you make a payment. That's no problem with that. Work with that. Then you can also say, I want to be making payments on a weekly basis. So you have a discount from the daily amount. You also have a discount on the number of days to pay. So if you do it weekly now, you do only 6 days.
6 days. And
you also have a percentage discount from the daily payments. Then you pay it in bulk. Then if you also want to do monthly you do for 22 days alone. So if the month is 31 days, just pay for 22 days with the discounted amount again. This amount is lower than the daily, also lower than the weekly payment. Yes. So when you do that, if you convenant, that means if you do from A to Z, everything is equal to 100% on your responsibility. You're entitled to free medical insurance.
Really?
If you have malaria, if you have hepatitis, if you have anything, just go to hospital. You choose. So as people are making payments, now we are looking at their record, we're enrolling them into the Abia State Health Insurance Agency to drive that process. So it's same convenient ecosystem running within the state government. So it's actually something we are doing, trying to encourage our people and also provide prosperity. However, if you look at it, we are also not preaching tax. What are you saying? That the things you need to pay that we want to pay, we just want to collect it using a very plain and convenient system and to make it very transparent to people. So after the payment is done, we also want to give you something which is the dividends of democracy. Give you something to also encourage you to do what you need to do. And by so doing, it's just a normal transaction. If you do this, you get this. If you do this, you get the vice versa. So people that refuse to pay, when we commence our compliance system, we also get them to pay for that, and also consequences around.
All right, sir. I have another question to ask you. The Accountant General, Deaconess Njum, announced that they recovered over 200 million naira from about 2,300 ghost workers in the state. What is the magic behind it?
There's no magic now. So people we have a payroll record where people don't exist receive money. So we now call for people that exist. People that exist now came. So we now pay them. We now look at we'll do plus and minus. I realize that there are people that don't exist that they'll be receiving payment. So if those people exist and they come, the figure can reduce. It can reduce from 2,300 to 1,800. It can also increase from 2,300 to 5,000. Do you understand what I'm saying? So our savings can also increase to 500 million. It can also go down to. It's a function of what you bring is what you see. So if we have those people claiming that we are working, that the previous government were paying, if we have them, they will come and receive their money as long as they are working. But if you're not working, like me now, if I'm not working for the state will not give me any kind of compensation. But if I'm working, I'll get.
Okay. All right, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
As a next part on revenue collection, how do you see Abia in the next 3 years?
Very interesting question. So, like how someone would say, inshallah, Abia is going to do well.
Okay.
The governor of the state, Dr. Alex Oti, OFR, he's not today. He wanted to. He would have finished this thing like ago.
I agree with you.
So, but it was good. Like I can't say, there's what they call just-in-time principle. So he actually came in at the right time. So those times he couldn't come in wasn't the right time.
Okay.
So this is time when the state is bleeding, the country is, a lot of things are going wrong, no revenue from the federal.
Okay.
So now we are coming and saying, we know these things are here. We have an idea of where the dead bodies are buried.
Okay.
So we are trying to exhume them and let people see the fair share of what they need to get and what the government needs to also get.
Okay.
So in terms of our IGR, so like what we just launched is just a tip of the iceberg. Is that the version 1 of our journey. So we are on a journey to transform our revenue process. In the next 3 years, I'm sure I'll be back here to talk about that.
Really?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Great Abians, let us join hands together to make our state Abia a great one again. Mr. Chimereze Isaac Okibo, thank you for honoring my invitation today.
Thank you.
What advice do you have for the masses and encouragement to the government?
Yeah, so my advice to the idea is that all over the world where they should support this government because this is a government of, it's an intentional government.
Okay.
The purpose is clear. The direction is clear.
Okay.
The vision is clear. So that forms the objective of having this government. So each time I come out for some operational jobs, I see people in the street, I begin to see that there is a kind of revival happening in Abia State now. Confidence are coming back. Okay. People want to do what they want to do now. Although we still have one or two distortions around. But I noticed I went to the market, I see the market is gotten back to well organized. People are telling you things, people are ready to do what the government wants to do. You go to the park, you see the drivers are calling and saying, oh, we want to do this, just protect us, we want to get. People are giving us information that help us to do a lot of things. So the civil servant, to see the dignity in labor is coming back again. They are no longer like when the governor came in, he says he doesn't want this idea of discrimination of the core staff and non-core. So it was like, why would we have people working and producing results, calling them core and non-core? So that was actually the mandate that's given to us in the different area where we function or where we supervise. Like last time, we had a meeting with people called the casual staff in the entire revenue service. I was like, why are they called casual staff? Are they not providing value to what is being done? So we have to now come up and change them to community revenue agents. So now they were so excited. See, that confidence is coming back. People are ready to work. And wherever most of them before now was really not there to work. But now they are saying, oh, we're ready to work now. We're ready to work now. Give us what to do. And that's the people are going to drive our revenue system. So I want to encourage in that and support the government. I will not say, I'm not going to overstress the point of being patient with us. We hit the ground running from day one. We are sure what we can do. If you look at Aba now, Aba Road is being handled. In the next less than another 50 days now, we'll celebrate our 100 days in office, which doesn't really matter to us, but just a convention. Want to show what we can do around education, healthcare, and also. So we are intentional about what we're doing. I want people to also support the government, pray for the government, and give us all the different kind of assistance that we need.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kiwo. It was a pleasure having you on today's program. This is it on As It Is in Your Area with Living Television. Thank you for watching. See you soon. I remain your area diva, Onyinye Eze.
Thank you.